Menopausal and perimenopausal women, listen up. It's time to take control of your health and comfort, and Winona is here to help. Winona is a telemedicine company for menopause care who believes that your symptoms are real, important, and deserve to be taken seriously. And for many women, this starts with hormone replacement therapy. Winona's HRT is made with plant-based, bioidentical hormones rather than synthetic ones, so it better aligns with your body to offer relief from hot flashes, weight gain, and other uncomfortable symptoms. 80% of women who use Winona find relief within just 90 days. So, what are you waiting for? Get started today. Visit buywinona.com today to start your free visit. With free shipping and the ability to pause or cancel at any time, your path to wellness has zero obligations. Use code SPRING24 at buywinona.com for 25% off your first treatment plan. That's BYWINONA.com for 25% off. Winona. Menopause care made easy. Summer is the season of hot temperatures, outdoor adventures, and refreshing water activities. Summer is also the season of rough on your feet, causing dry, cracked heels and toes. Introducing Babyfoot, the original exfoliation foot peel that contains 16 natural extracts formulated to remove dead skin cells in 3 easy steps. Apply the booties, relax for an hour, then wash your feet. In 14 days, you've got baby smooth skin and your feet have never been softer. Letting dead skin cells build up over time is hazardous to your foot health. Our professional-grade DIY products, like our original exfoliation foot peel, our men's foot peel, or our moisturizing mask, are some of the best foot care products on the market, created with your foot health in mind. Pamper yourself with a spa day from the comfort and convenience of your own home with Babyfoot. If you want a chemical-free, easy-to-use exfoliating process from the company that created the original foot peel, it's time to treat yourself to Babyfoot. Go to babyfoot.com and use the code SUMMERFEET24 and get 20% off your first order with Babyfoot. That's babyfoot.com and use the code SUMMERFEET24.
Hello, and welcome to Too Stupid to Live, a podcast that reviews romance novels $5 and under. I'm your host, Becky Feldman, and I'm just going to come out and say that my ship is at full mast because I am really excited for today's episode. The book we are reviewing today is Destiny's Captive by Beverly Jenkins, which is currently $2. And my guest today is an old improv friend of mine, writer and director Diana Wright. She's written for the mobile games The Simpsons Tapped Out, Best Friends Forever, and she also wrote, directed, and produced the web series #Hashtagging. And just FYI, you guys are in for a treat because we do go off on a tangent talking about ballet movies like Center Stage, but obviously we get back on course. A sexy course. So it's time to set sail and enjoy this review of Destiny's Captive. Are you ready to?
Yeah, let's do this.
To hit the high seas?
Yeah.
Well, Diana, welcome to Too Stupid to Live.
Thank you.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm excited about this book we're going to discuss. But before we begin, I usually ask the guests, have you, before this book, ever read a romance novel before?
You know, I don't think I've read a specific romance novel before, but I will say, just straight out of the bat, my preferred porn is reading porn.
That's awesome. So erotica.
So erotica.
Okay,
So I read a lot of erotica. I like erotica, but I find that it's like the short story version of romance novels where it's like, just get to the fucking. Like it's like 2 pages and it's just like, if you're not in it within 3 paragraphs, you failed.
No, I get it. Yeah. That's how I feel with erotica too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm here for a specific reason. And so this was an interesting excursion because it was just like a lengthy like erotica story where I'm like, let's get to it. Come on, guys, let's do this.
Yeah, I was feeling that way too. I mean, I feel that way with like most books, but sometimes it's hard to remember. Like, you know, after I go through this long phase of just like reading erotica after erotica after erotica, just for like my own kicks, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm reading a book again. Because before this, I did an erotica. I read erotica. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's a beginning, a middle,
yeah,
an
it's
end.
just, it's like, oh, there's story and character development. And
yeah, and it's like, oh, yeah, that I have to go through that. Yeah.
I will say that I feel, and I don't know if this is true for most women, but I found that like my sexual awakening was through books.
Yeah.
And I had this distinct memory of going over to my friend Marcy's house and she pulls me aside when we're like, families are there. It's like a family dinner. She pulls me aside. She like thrust Summer Sisters, which was by Judy Blume, into my hand. And she's like, read this passage. And I like read it while she's like watching me. And I'm like, holy shit. And I think I like made my parents go to a Borders and I like bought that book and they're like, Judy Blume. Okay, great. Sure. She wrote a
Socks.
She wrote it. Yeah. That'll be fine. Read it. And then just like read it in like 3 days. And it had like real sexy parts, real like coming of age parts. And I feel like that was like my moment of realizing that like books could be sexy.
Yeah.
And then like falling into like adult bookhood, which I feel like I'm watching it with cousins of mine where they're like turn 14, 15 and like all they're doing is reading. And I'm like, I think you're just finding sexy parts in books because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like, I think there are a lot of like books that I've read, like YA books where they're like was kissing and like I would think about it, you know, all the time and just be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
My mom's gonna catch me. And it would be just like YA kissing, like, you know, definitely not this. It would be like, and he put his tongue in my mouth and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to hell. Like,
my friend is a YA author and she wrote this book, The Beginning of Everything, and featured in it is a guy who breaks his leg. And this girl I used to babysit when she was like 13 broke her leg. And so I brought that book over because I had bought it to support her. And I was like, hey, you might enjoy this. And I sort of forgot that there's like, not like sex or anything. There's just a scene where like at one point they make out and he goes like, and that's when I discovered that bras can open from the front. And I told her that I gave this girl the book and she was like, oh, kind of a risque book for like a 13-year-old. And then I had forgotten about that part because I was like, oh, it's about a kid who joins a debate club because he can no longer play tennis. And I was like, oh shit, oh well.
It's fine. They have to like learn somehow. And it's like, you know, you do it through books. I mean, like you said, our sexual awakening is through books.
I'd rather have that than the internet. So I, you know, enjoy learning that bras can open from the front.
Yeah, they can. Oh my God.
Yeah, they can.
You take scissors and you unhook them, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a one-time use.
Right. Yeah, that's how I wear my bras all the time.
Oh, one time. Disposable.
Disposable. That's why my trash can is just filled with bras.
Just packed full of bras.
Yeah.
And that's where all your money problems are. You're just spending $50 on a bra every day.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right about that. I thought it was paying my rent. I was wasting money paying rent, but maybe
it's your disposable bra habit.
That's true. Okay. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to start a bill to make into a law that bras should not be disposable. I want to invent reusable bras.
Oh my God, I think that would be good. Do a Kickstarter. I'd support it. So tired of going to Victoria's Secret day after day after day.
Yeah, I mean, I go as often as I go to the grocery store.
I mean, you got to stock up on your weekly bras.
Weekly bras. They're like straws for your boobs. I don't know.
Straws for your boobs.
Straws for your boobs. Boob straws.
Let's stop using one-time use.
Okay, so a lot of people read romance novels like as a form of escapism, just like something, you know, to take you out of your day-to-day life and have like go on a fun adventure. What is something that you like that kind of like falls into the same category?
Well, I definitely I feel like I read like a lot of fantasy novels, which I feel like is also just escaping.
Yeah.
Going off. I also love like noir stuff, like true crime, but like of a different era kind of thing.
Ye old cereal.
Ye old cereal, exactly. Back when smoking was more involved.
Crimes were so much better when you could smoke.
Yeah. I feel like crimes really do need smoking. If you're dealing with murder, really, lung cancer is the least of your concerns. But I find that like my biggest escape that I'm like probably the most embarrassed about is I don't love a lot of reality TV, but I do love shows about little kids in dance competitions.
Dance moms.
Toddlers and Tiaras, this new show, Baby Ballroom, I'm really obsessed with.
I have seen all of those shows and love them. I love talented kids.
I love talented kids.
And
I
crazy
love
parents.
Crazy parents. I love being in a world that I have like nothing to do about. I also love like any show or movie that's like backstage at a ballet.
Yes.
I don't want to see a ballet. I've been to ballets. They're fine. I just want to see like shots of like gross feet and then a woman like struggling with an eating disorder.
Yes. Okay. Question for you. Have you seen both Center Stage and Flesh and Bone? Because those are my two favorite pieces of
Flesh and
ballet.
Bone was crazy.
It fucked me up, but I loved it so much.
It was like, I was like, what? Incest?
And it was hot. Like, is that weird? It was like, oh God, yay. Oh my God. No, wait, they're brother and sister.
Yeah, that was I was not expecting that. And Center Stage, I would still consider my favorite movie.
Me too.
Really?
It was the first DVD I ever had, and I watched it all the time.
I've seen it like 25 times.
I know the choreography.
You know the choreography? I've always wanted to. You can't do it. The Last Dance. It's physically impossible.
But like sometimes. So I go to this thing called Dance Party, which is like an all-lady dance workout party.
That sounds like so fun.
Oh my God, I'll give you a card. We'll talk after this.
Okay.
But whenever they play like a song from Center Stage, when they play like the last like Jamiroquai dance song, I don't know all the choreography, but I just like remember like specific moves. And so
there's like the moment where they're slow-mo walking.
Yes, and she does like the, and then
like the dance sexing.
Yes, yeah, and like they do like the dance, and then like does the PK turn, and then like the, the bourrée, and I like I always try to do it in the back of the room, but it's like obviously I'm not as like gorgeous and glorious as
I don't think they are. I don't think it's a very good dance. Last Dance. It's just a lot of fun to watch. Like,
yeah, it's like ballet to pop songs, and it's like sold.
Yeah, and they're like, this is the beginning of modern ballet, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's really not.
But yeah, Center Stage is perhaps my favorite. When I was in college, I got really into High School Musical. And like went and saw it in concert. And then went and saw the stage show. It was funny going in concert because at the concert, like he was like, "Who's it? Everybody's first concert?" And like all these little kid screams like came up, and they were like, "Wah!" And it was like me and my two male friends. We had driven to Ohio to see the show. Had the greatest time. One of the greatest road trips I've ever had. Just been drunk since 3 p.m. Drunk at a High School Musical and concert show, and we were like, "Oh no, we're gonna get on a list."
Was it Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens and all their
No, they
fine
didn't do
friends?
it. It was but definitely the Sharpay's brother did it. Like the twin brother was at the show.
Yes. Okay.
The point of the story is that then in college I did a High School Musical live sort of Rocky Horror type show where I had people act out scenes and then I choreographed dances, and it was one of the most, I would say like the most successful nights of my life because I became for one night the most popular girl on campus, and like the show was packed. People came 3 hours early to see it. We like gave out, we did like a trivia contest and gave out presents. And also like, it was my senior year and I was just like going insane. Like I had taken on too many extracurriculars. I say that I majored in extracurriculars in college, which I actually think is good if you then go into comedy and producing in LA because it just like teaches you how to like juggle things.
Totally.
But so I was like, crying every night while like spraying jerseys on and like watching the choreography, and and then I had this moment where I like pulled this kid down. I was really embarrassed about that. I so feel bad about this kid. I like want to, it's like my bully moment where I need to like reach out to him years later and be like, "I'm so sorry, I ruined this for you." So I feel like that I've always wanted to do that with Center Stage and do like a Rocky Horror version of Center Stage where you like do all the dances and you have like moments acted out and you like create throwback like lines and make it like a midnight showing Rocky Horror
that would be
type moment with Center Stage. I think it has an audience. I think it can be.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Done.
For sure does. I remember, like, I think they did a screening at the Grove or something, and I feel like I couldn't go, and I was, like, really bummed about that. You do know that there's a Center Stage 2 and 3, right?
Yes, and they're terrible.
They're terrible. I am kind of obsessed with the star of Center. Can we just, like, end this podcast and talk about Center Stage?
Okay, so all right, we're starting a Center Stage podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be a limited series podcast about Center Stage.
You know how TV shows do, like, that side pilot, you know, with, like, different characters? That's what this is. This is a side... an intern. But I'm kind of obsessed with the actress who plays the lead in Center Stage 2 because she's like this like stunt performer and dancer and like trying to be this actor, and like her Instagram is insane. It's just like her working out and like doing headstands and like yoga off a cliff of a mountain and stuff. And
yeah,
she's
that sounds
also
about
insane.
right.
Yeah,
there's this documentary on Hulu now called Ballet Now, which is all about ballerina. It's a behind the scenes ballet documentary where she does ballet with Bill Irwin, who's an incredible clown.
I know Bill Irwin. Yeah, not personally, but
and if you ever want to have like a real fun YouTube experience, check out his clowning performance that won him the MacArthur Genius Grant for clowning.
That's amazing. I think we did that. Like, we studied him in college. I went to Emerson, and so I took performance art, and so obviously we had a Bill Irwin.
Oh yeah, sure. No, I took performance art. Got naked in that class.
Oh, that's so awesome. I stripped down to my bra and underwear. I couldn't do the full Monty.
Oh,
it wasn't artsy enough.
It was me and my friend Christine, my friend Lillian, and we did this project about feminism in the media. And like the first meeting, we were like, so we're all gonna get naked, right? And we were like, yep, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think we did something, and this is not probably okay today, but we went from I think from wearing like full burqas to nudity as a statement of femininity.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be a little cultural appropriation now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
you didn't know,
it wasn't part of the vocabulary.
Right. Yeah.
10 years ago.
But it's good that you're like acknowledging it, because like if you were like, I did this beautiful piece of art when I was in college.
I will say that I used an Israeli call to prayer that then the teacher still plays today, and apparently it's like her favorite thing, and I think she made it her like ringtone for a while. So if anything, she's
the one.
She's the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In my performance art class, we all kind of it ended up like we all kind of like phoned it in, and like our professor didn't know. So like we had the first guy to get naked beginning. He basically, his thing was he got naked and like jerked off while reading his own poetry. Like that was our first project.
We had a guy who like put semen into like a maid project that he needed.
God, that's crazy.
And he was really like, he was definitely phoning it in. But, but the teacher like loved him.
Yeah. And so after that, then after a while, we started with we would do solo projects, and then we would do projects with 2, and then projects with 3, and then by the time we got to like project stuff with 5 of us, we would like meet up the night before and be like, what the fuck are we gonna do? And so there was one we're like, I don't know, and then we were like, let's just like bring a pile of clothes, put it on the floor, turn on some music, and just tell everyone to dress us, and it'll be about identity.
Perfect,
and
great.
So that's what we did. So we like stood there, I just like stood there in my bra and underwear, and like we were just like, dress me, and we were like, God, I hope this works. And in the end, like our teacher, she would always say this, and I don't know what it meant, but she would be like, oh my God, I love it. It's so inclusive. And we got the phrase, it's so inclusive. We're like, great.
One, I think she time traveled from 2019 to that class.
I think she did.
Specifically. Yeah. I feel like me taking a performance art class made me appreciate performance art less. If anything.
I kind of agree.
And I appreciate some shock value of it. Some of the performance art that I've seen, I think, is difficult to do, and it's you put your body through a lot. And I can recognize like things like The Artist Prepares, where that was the one in New York where they like sat in chairs and people had really emotional responses. But I think studying it and then having to create my own projects made me not not appreciate it that much.
Yeah, because I think like with me, like we learned how to phone it in, and
Yeah,
like we,
exactly.
you know what I mean. And then so it's like it made us like, oh well, okay, like we can easily just like come up with bullshit and like get an A.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so now it's like I feel like maybe it's like we did ruin it for ourselves. Like, are there real performance artists out there that I'm like, I could do that? You know what I mean? It's like you're
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think that it backfired.
It definitely, yeah. But look, but we're all the better for it.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, look at us. We're here sitting in my closet.
My greatest moment being a High School Musical live performance that I did.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, we peaked. Well,
right. We discussed the book, right?
Yeah. Remember how this was a podcast about romance novels? Because I sure forgot. Okay, well, let's get into it. So I'll give it like a quick synopsis about what we're discussing today. So we are reviewing Destiny's Captive by the one and only Beverly Jenkins, which is currently $2. It is the last book in the Destiny series, which this all takes place in like Cuba, Florida, and California in the late 1880s. And so this is like about a decade before the Spanish-American War and less than a decade before the Cuban War of Independence, where Cuba finally freed themselves from Spanish rule. And so here's a quick synopsis of the fictional sexy stuff that happened during this time period. Okay. The tough and beautiful Pilar is a gun-smuggling Cuban rebel in need of a boat, so the feisty pirate kidnaps the wealthy and sexy and troubled Captain Noah Yates and makes off with his ship, the Alonza. But when the tides turn, Pilar finds herself in Noah's path, and soon in Noah's arms.
Oh, that's good. That's good writing.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I did that like literally 5 minutes before you.
It's good. You turned it in. You turned it around at the end. Flipped it.
I basically did a performance art. I basically did what I did for performance art, which is
so
like,
inclusive.
Yeah. Thank you. I really tried to inclusify everyone. I still have no idea what that means. If anyone who from college knows what Mirta meant when she said inclusive, please contact me. Okay, so did you come up with a tagline for the book? So the tagline on this book, it's "She stole his ship and his heart."
Yeah, I went to a more judgy one where I went from pirate to princess.
You're right.
Yeah,
because that's basically her journey a little bit. Okay, this is the one. This is the one I chose. There's a double meaning.
Ooh.
Okay, Destiny's Captive. He's coming for his little pirate. Because he calls her his little pirate. That's his little nickname for her. Yeah.
You'll find that out in the book.
You'll find it out in the book. His little pirate. He says again and again. I was like, I hope this doesn't look like he's coming for a little kid. You know what I mean? Like a little pirate, like Pippi Longstocking or some shit like that.
Exactly.
So I do like to look at the cover if you want to like describe it for everyone. Here's a copy of it.
Ooh, nice. Oh, I have it on my Kindle app.
That looks better. That one looks better.
I can do it. It's a shirtless man looking behind him with this pirate woman. She's got a sword and off the shoulder ruffled shirt, and she's caressing him from behind. And there's a ship in the background, and there's flowing hair, and they're almost kissing. Mm-hmm. They're almost kissing, which I like. Yeah. I like that they're both people of color.
Yeah.
She's Spanish. She's Cuban, and then he's from Spanish descent.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And look, I think it's pretty hot. I think it's a hot cover.
It's pretty good. It harkens back to like old Fabio covers.
It does, yeah.
And I brought that up specifically so I could say that Fabio used to work out at my gym, and one time hit my car with his car and did not apologize. Granted, his was a Porsche and mine was like a Honda Accord that was dying. But
regardless, question, did he cause any damage or?
I think he like dented it, but it was like so minor. And I think I was there. And so I looked at him, and then he looked at the car and then like looked at me and then like walked away. And I was like, that's fair, I guess.
No, here's the thing. Fabio is an asshole. He is xenophobic, pro-Trump, and now he will ding someone's car and walk away.
And will ding your car at the Gold's Hollywood gym, the gym where everyone's on steroids.
Needless to say, fuck Fabio.
Yeah, fuck
Quote
him.
me on that. Fuck Fabio.
Fuck Fabio.
This cover is way better than any type of shit he could do.
But I think it's a very like throwback cover.
For sure. It feels like so like from the 1980s, 70s romance novel covers.
This is exactly what I imagine a romance cover to look like. This like I would, if I saw this, I'd be like, absolutely, this is a romance novel.
Yeah.
I want it, you know?
Yeah, exactly, which is good because like you see the author title, like Everyone Loves Beverly Jenkins, you see the cover, we know what it's about, we know what we're getting into, like purchase, open the book, let's have a party.
Let's get this started.
Let's get the party started. Okay, so we have this premise of Pilar is this pirate, she kidnaps Noah, steals his ship, and then you know, like I guess I'm asking you, like, what did you think about the premise itself, like how the story kind of got started?
Well, I will say I felt like it started really strong.
Yes,
because it starts with this strong pirate woman who is a rebel in the Cuban army, who is gun smuggling for the Cuban army, stealing this man's ship. Oh no! First, it starts with Noah getting shanghaied.
Yeah,
and like basically being held prisoner in this prison camp. It's really terrible.
Yes. Which has happened, like is real. Like
yeah,
it
that
happened
is
in real life. Yeah,
definitely real. I really felt like this was well researched.
and it's fascinating. I mean, I can go on and on, but yes, go on. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah.
So it starts with that, and then it cuts to Pilar she steals his ship. And like basically ties him up in this bed and holds him captive, tied up in his bed, and steals his ship to gun run. But then like ends up just like letting him go, and he's like, "I'll get you back." And then I felt like it really and that's like 30 pages in, and then it just sort of like meandered.
Yeah.
And then it turned into because like when I picked this book, when he gave me the options, I was like, we're going to get some pirate sex, boats, pirates, fighting, sexy. And then it just sort of turned into like a girl's shopping trip at the end.
Yeah, it definitely, I wanted a swashbuckling love story too. And then it kind of like went into like, you know, people's fantasy of like marrying into wealth, like, you know, feeling beautiful, being sexy, having kids.
We had this woman who's like so strong. She didn't want any man. She was like fighting for her country's freedom. And then it like dissolves in the end to be like her being like, oh, these shoes are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, like, tell me what nightgown to wear. And I was like, oh, bummer.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer. With that said, you know, like if I knew that the premise of this book would be more about this Cuban rebel and this like, you know, ship captain fall in love and they have to deal with, you know, or like they're forced to marry. That's essentially what they're doing. And the story is about them finding out if they do love each other. I would have been like, that's a really interesting love story I want to read. But when like you have something called Destiny's Captive and like the synopsis of the book is about this pirate woman, I, again, yes, was like expecting, you know,
it really,
sex.
There was like, I would say, like a good 20 pages of the book is just talking about them on a train.
Yeah.
And again, like talking about like the clothing they needed to wear on the train. And, you know, I appreciate it. And the more I learned about the author, I was like, I appreciate these elements into it because she talks about segregation and the troubles of traveling when you're a person of color, which I was like, these are cool.
Yeah.
These are things to talk about. But I was also like, give me some sex, man.
Yeah.
I also like the first people that have sex are his mother.
Yeah.
And she and it's his mother marrying like not her husband. Her husband's dead, so she's remarrying the supposed love of her life. And he like bets her to wear this outfit made by her daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
So the entire time I was like, oh, I've got too much 50 Shades of Grey in here because I was like, oh, it's going to be like a BDSM like sex harness.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of like a slutty nightgown.
I know. There were a lot of like silky nightgowns in this in this book.
There was
like, I appreciate that.
There was like a lot of like family encouraging banging of like, you know, it's I feel like she like goes shopping and it's like, oh, Noah's mom and her like sister-in-laws like pick out lingerie for her. And like I feel like when you're with a family, everyone sort of knows that you have sex, but it's not like your mother-in-law is like, ooh, ooh,
I know.
try
Yeah.
on this. How many disposable bras do you need?
Yeah.
Let's pick some up.
I always like the disposable ones. That would be but I don't have a mother-in-law or a husband to have a mother-in-law. But if I did, you should get this disposable ones because you can just throw them away.
You just rip them off and then you throw them
Yeah,
out.
I only use disposable. I don't do laundry. I'm gonna be like, I love your son. Okay. So what did you think about like the characters themselves? Like we have Pilar. Like how did you feel about her? Like I mean, I know we kind of lost her kind of pirate identity.
I thought she was pretty great. And I will say that they do have a great sword fight at her uncle's party.
That was my favorite scene.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
Where like they're fighting and she like her dress gets cut off and then she cuts off the other part of her dress. So it's just like she's just like bodice out and then she's like fighting and that's when she captures his heart.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna woo you, and then it's just like a real traditional woo.
A real good old woo.
A real grade A woo. And then there's a moment later where she like redeems herself again with the gun. But so she is this really strong character, and she does. It's like cool because it's like there's moments where she's talking about wealth and like being in it, and she's definitely swept away in it, but also talks about like wanting to use that wealth to like help Cuba again. So I liked her.
Yeah.
Because I even if I was like fighting for a revolution, which I am not, and I got then plucked into wealth, I would probably have a few days where I'm like, woo, this is fun.
Of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, these books are all about fantasy. And like, I think like at the end of the day, like, you know, the wealth is a fantasy. Like there, you know, that is like, we want that. We want security. And I think part of that security is financial too. And it is that fantasy. Like,
oh
my
definitely.
God.
Yeah. She definitely, she gets very well taken care of. But I like her. I think she's a pretty feisty woman. You know, I think I loved her in the beginning, and then part of it, and then I felt like the second half she lost herself a little bit. And I think it's also that tough thing where it's like trying to create a modern kind of feminist kind of stands up for herself character while also acknowledging that this is the like 1880s. And those, you know, women
And shit sucked then. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like there is a moment where they're just where characters like, I want to run my father's business, and they're like, you can't because you're a woman and no one will buy from you. And I'm like, that sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
But like,
yeah, you do what you can. I mean, I think that's like even why like I was like, ooh, a lady a pirate, but a lady pirate,
pirate.
Just a pirate. You know what I mean? Because when I say pirate, what do you think?
It's a piratess.
Yeah, a piratess.
Women can be pirates too.
Yeah. What? What? Oh my goodness. I'm learning so much.
But I did enjoy how much it felt like she paid attention to the love lives of their mothers.
Yeah. Oh my God. It really was about family. Like they were really like, it was like, they were like a really functional family.
Oh yeah. I felt like they maybe all have sex together just once in a room. Like not swapping, but like just in corners. Just to keep it together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's weird. Like, is that good? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it good that like if like you had a parent or a parent-in-law being like, so how are things in the bedroom? Like they good? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like this healthy, like you got to acknowledge it while also ignoring it. Like it's that kind of thing where it's like you're not talking about it, but you can talk about it if you need to. The door's open, but try not to use it. You know, like that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I think
it's like a fire extinguisher, you know?
Exactly. Because you don't want to like make like it stigmatize it and like be like tee hee hee, but like you also don't want to be like I don't want to like have dinner and talk to you about, you know, lube or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you don't want that too healthy of that relationship.
Yeah, it's very interesting because like some families are very open and other families are very closed, and it's like we don't have like a barometer of like what is right, what is wrong.
Well, I feel like if it's too closed and you don't know what's going on, that's how you end up with like teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
And if it's like too open, then you end up with like probably teenage pregnancy again. It's like full circle.
Yeah,
You can swing both ways and end up with teenage pregnancy.
Yeah, it's kind of like those people who like are so far right that they voted for Bernie Sanders for some reason.
They looped around the world and came back.
I don't know how it works, but sure, the teenagers
They're
are
like,
pregnant.
no, Trump isn't enough, so we're with Bernie.
And I hate Bernie so much, I'm voting for Hillary. And then Hillary won the election, and
what a fun alternative universe we're living in.
Yeah, this podcast takes place in fun 2019.
Yeah, well, if physicists are right and we have multiverses, there is a universe where Hillary is the president.
Yeah, and that's where we are recording from. It's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
We're both billionaires too.
That's great. We both married pirates.
We both married pirates.
I'll let you know if it's a male or a female pirate, because there are plenty of both in this world.
Yeah, we're all equal in this world. Okay, what did you think of Noah Yates?
I thought Noah Yates was pretty hunky.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed pretty dreamy, pretty ideal. Mm-hmm. I felt like there was like a little bit of like toxic masculinity and how he like handled his inner demons.
Yes. Yeah.
Where he was like, shut people out. I'm just not going to talk about it.
He wasn't that much of a dick, though.
No, he was really nice.
Because I feel like I've read other books like where it's like a military romance or another romance like this where the guy is like legitimately a dick to her and like they will like full on not talk to someone for, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's to the point where it's like, if this were real life, like this is a bad relationship. But that I didn't get that with this.
Noah had like a rough start to his life.
Mm-hmm. He was really traumatized.
And it seemed terrible. He was on in a prison camp for 6 months and then was a pirate and then was I think a sailor or a pirate or something. He was like Shanghai, so he was like forced to be a sailor, which is like that is how like during that time period people would like staff their ships would be just a full on kidnap someone. Yeah, you could just kidnap them. And it was legal.
It was legal.
Which is crazy.
I was reading about this, like, because, like, the people who were, like, Shanghaiing were also, like, local politicians.
Yeah, they mentioned that in the book where he's like, it's legal because they're, like, they were in Congress. Yeah. And you're like, this is exactly what's happening now, just without Shanghaiing sailors to be pirate boats. Yeah, so I felt like look, he names his boat after his mother. Mm-hmm. He paints, he composes. He's a hunk.
And he's like a good lover. Like,
he's a good lover.
Yeah.
He stays by his wife when he gets enticed by Lavinia, his one-time mistress, who I think gets a shorthanded.
Me too.
I got real thoughts about Lavinia.
Oh yeah, we can get into Lavinia.
I think she really gets shafted in this book.
Agreed.
Yeah, and he like also helps Pilar, even though he finds out that she has like thieving background. Mm-hmm. And then is like really nice to her family. Overall, just like a really cool dude. The only thing was, I really thought when he was like, I gotta go back to that island and conquer my inner demons, I thought she was gonna go on the boat. Me too. And I thought they were gonna I was like, finally we're gonna get some steamy boat sex. And nope. She's just like, bye, I'm pregnant. See you in 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
That was a bummer. I wasn't, and I was also expecting like they would go back to to the island. Yeah. And they would have like a pirate situation going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would have been
where
good.
they like run into like the Spanish army and like more people who are after her.
And she has to like fight people.
And you have to like fight people and have like a swashbuckling adventure.
Yeah, I do say there is like a moment of things go right for like a really long time. Yeah. And then like there's a moment of things going bad. And yeah, I thought it was going to be like them fighting together because
Yeah.
they prove that she's such a good fighter and she like barely gets to use it.
I know.
Except in one scene where she rips off her dress.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, but she keeps talking about it. Like they keep talking about, oh, she's so good with a sword. And I'm like, Chekhov's gun situation, have her fight some more people.
Exactly.
I thought she was gonna like maybe rescue him. You know, I thought, and I also thought like maybe she was gonna use some like Cuban rebels were gonna rescue them, or something was gonna happen with that, or like maybe on the island she knew where the guns were hidden because she was this gun smuggler.
Yeah.
None of that happened.
No.
He just sort of went there and it was in Rebels, and then a tiger looked at him and then he was freed of his demons.
I know.
Which we all know through therapy, that's how it works.
You look at a tiger.
You stare at one tiger and then all your problems are solved.
Yeah, I did that I'm perfect. I did that 13 years ago. I looked at a tiger and
all my problems are solved.
I'm so happy.
I definitely don't cry on a weekly basis in my therapist's office.
You know what's funny is that my therapist is a tiger, so it works out. So yeah,
that's what I cannot get a therapist tiger. They're too in demand.
I know. That's why I have all
hard.
these scratches on my face.
That's the downside of the therapist tire.
It's the downside of the therapist tire, but it's basically I call it a copay.
Yeah, I mean, the money you save in just time spent with the therapist tiger, you then use towards plastic surgery, fixing all the scarring.
Yeah, so I look more beautiful and feel more beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
and think more beautiful.
So everyone, go see Dr. Rare.
Does not take insurance.
No, they take raw meat. Just feed it raw meat. And
tons of raw meat.
And don't stop because they will maul your face off if not.
It's a questionable ethics thing, but in Thailand I did take photos with tigers. I went to the one that's more nicer, and they like take moments where they're like, see, the tigers aren't drugged,
right?
But when I was doing it, the guy was like, do you want me to take a photo? And I was like, no, I want you to stare at this tiger and make sure it's not going to attack me while I touch its butt. I was like, that's what's going to happen. Take the photo. Let's get out of this cage.
That is great. And you got the photo. And, oh, that's great.
I got to play with baby tigers, and that was very cute. And then I played with adult tigers, and like no one wanted to play with the teenage tigers. And I was like, I would pay for the teenage tigers just because I felt bad for them. I was like, they're almost adults. If I took a picture with them, no one would know.
It's like, Diana, did you just take photos with underage tigers?
Ooh, no. However, that apparently is like a big thing on Tinder, is like a photo, like guys have a photo with tigers.
Really?
Apparently that's like a trope.
I have never, maybe I've always just like swiped right and was like, no, thank you.
You're like, no, tiger, no.
Is that just like, is it like just to show, is it like to show that they're manly or something?
Maybe. I feel like if you're like picking a photo and you've taken a photo with a tiger, that might be something that you're like, I'm fun and adventurous and also manly. And
okay.
Here's me with, I'm virile.
I guess maybe like when I say, I'm like, oh my God, are you gonna hunt that? Like I always automatically assume like hunters, you know what I mean? And that's terrible.
Is that dead? Yeah, big game hunting is terrible. I have a real like love-hate relationship with like animal tourism because I love being able to like pet things and like I desperately want to own like mini horses.
Sure. They're awesome.
And I like ride horses, so like, or I used to ride horses. I can't afford it now, but so I like riding elephant. Like I like all this stuff, but I also feel I have this like love-hate relationship because I also know that there's ethics behind it, and I want conservation, and I don't want these animals mistreated. So I always do a lot of research, but like ultimately there is a level of like, the thing, probably the best thing to do would be to not do this, but I want to.
Yeah. It's kind of how I feel like with like horse-drawn carriages. Like I'm so torn about it, like, I don't know, like, are the horses being treated okay? I don't know. In New York, they passed a lot of laws that the majority of them are. Oh, that's good.
But there are some people that do, there's always going to be people that are going to be mistreating people, which is terrible. Don't do that to horses.
Also, there's been like 12 horse deaths recently in Santa Anita. Not 12, but like once a week they're like another horse has died. And like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
there?
like horse racing they take really good care of their horses, but it's a dangerous sport. And like that show Luck that kept killing horses.
Yeah, like
and they were like, let's cancel the show.
Yeah, like that's not.
Like when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a SEAL trainer that worked at SeaWorld and do the like comedic show with the sea lions. So I've never seen the documentary Blackfish because I was like, okay, I know it's terrible. I'll never go back to SeaWorld again. But like I cannot watch this because as a kid I really wanted to do this, and it just like I'm like I can't. I'm not gonna watch this, but I'm never gonna give them money again, and I won't do it. I promise.
Yeah, that's how I didn't watch Blackfish but I'm like I'm not gonna go to SeaWorld. I get it. Like I'm done.
I got it.
I get it.
People are like, you gotta watch it, and I'm like, no, it's terrible. I get it.
Well, you know what's not terrible is some of these sexy excerpts.
Ooh.
Do you want to read like a sexy sex?
I've got
read some sexy sex.
Yeah, I've got one. I've
Sweet.
got one.
Okay. If you want to set it up a little bit.
Locked and loaded. I was on a podcast. I was on Teen Creeps.
Lindsay was a guest on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, she had me on Teen Creeps, and they had me read the back of the book, and I was so nervous that it sounds like I've forgotten how to read on it, because they're like, do you want to read it? And I was like, oh, I've never read before in my life. So I hope this goes better. So
I'm sure.
It's not the beginning. So let's see. Noah had missed her kisses too. He had missed the silkiness of her skin, her soft moans of pleasure, and the feel of her nipples grazing his palms. When the freed halves fell away, he slid his hand inside and filled it with warm, velvety flesh. He took the candy-hard nipple into his mouth as he ardently relished first one and then its twin. His manhood stretched lustfully. Wanting more, he undid the button on the waistband of her skirt and tugged it down until the garment pooled at her feet. Filling his hands with the rich curves of her hips, he eased her closer and recaptured her lips while his hands circled and explored. I thought that was pretty sexy.
It was so sexy. I thought like the like this. It's like I was like looking for a sexy part to read today, and I'm like, fuck, all of these are so good.
I thought when she got into the sex, it was really well done. Yeah. It's just like few and far between, and it's like 95% nipple play.
I know. Which, like, honestly,
sometimes
I'm kind of okay with.
I thought it was nice nipple play.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she didn't really get into like the nitty gritty of like vaginas and dicks and
like fucking.
Yeah,
like we didn't see any.
It was a lot of like, oh, and then he took me, and then we were cuddling. It was a lot of like exploring nipples, then being like, and then we had sex, and now we're back to shopping.
Yeah. I mean, it really does, like, this book does do a good job with, like, foreplay. Like, really understanding that, foreplay is important,
Foreplay is important, and I think that's a lot of what romance novels are. It's like it's a really long foreplay, which you can enjoy.
Which is like
do you have a segment?
I do have a segment. But yeah, no one's saying is like foreplay can be like underappreciated, like because it's like in movies or in porn where it's just like you get straight to the fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like there isn't, like, you're not easing into it. It's
I mean,
like,
that's what erotica is.
Exactly.
It's just like getting straight to the,
but there is something marked. I mean, for me, like you do have the setup. You do have the. I mean, yes, it's a paragraph.
In your erotica,
erotica,
it's a short one. It's like a short
one, but like you're prepared. Whereas like with porn, it's just like
it's just like right there.
It's right there, and it's not erotic. It's just like.
Well, I would say that's
dirty.
The reason why I like erotica is probably the reason why people like romance novels, where it's like I feel like these characters have full lives, so that they're not just like used as objects. Like the women in porn, when they're just getting like fucked, I'm like, oh, they're just being used for their bodies. Whereas like, even if you have a paragraph that sets up like that she's a college co-ed or whatever it is, I'm like, she's going to college.
Because
like,
you care about her.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the thing is like yes, we want to, like, we're reading erotica as like a one-handed read, but like so there is like something like you want to like feel an emotion, like you want to feel emotionally attached to these people too, because ultimately the story, you'll be more like connected to the story.
Yeah. And so I felt like, even though I felt like this book could have like a lot more sex in it. I felt like when we did get to the sex, it was like really gratifying.
Yes,
I was
hands
like,
down.
I was like, yes, I've been waiting.
Oh, I've been waiting. Okay, so I think. Okay. So this is I'm gonna say nipple play to a T. So they are. So they're in Florida, and Pilar and Noah decide to get married because Pilar is like on the run from like the Spanish army or whatever, or like, you know, people are after her. So they go. They get married and they go off to California to live with Noah's family, and they're taking this like long ass train ride. And so then they finally made it to California. They're sitting on the beach. They've been like in a train car, you know, traveling. It's so disgusting. So here they are sitting on the beach, and they finally have a chance to like be together again. And so she's like sitting on his lap by the water, and he's like, okay, did you like my kisses, Clarita? Hearing him whisper the words so seductively turned her insides into warm honey, and she was ready to tell him whatever he wished to hear. You know, lying is a sin. Pilar couldn't breathe, couldn't see, couldn't do anything that constituted the strong, fearless woman she knew herself to be. Seated on his lap and being treated to the spell of his deliciously wicked kisses made her as boneless as a jellyfish washed up on the beach. And in reality, she didn't care. He circled a finger around her nipple, and she drew in a soft, shuddering breath. Most of her adult life, she'd never given her breasts much thought. They'd simply been another part of her anatomy. But his touches made them bloom and hunger in a way she'd never thought possible. And she found herself wanting to strip away her blouse so his hands could caress her flesh. If I take you in my mouth again, will you say yes? Pilar whimpered. Shall I, Pilar? Bold hands were undoing the buttons on her blouse. Bolder kisses were moving over the bared skin above her exposed chemise? I never know how to say that. You know what I mean. Chemise, yeah. He tugged it down and took the freed breast into his mouth to feast, to tempt, and to make her groan aloud from the exquisite sensation. Noah.
That one was maybe my favorite scene.
Same
because
here.
like they are really falling in love at this point. They're having this like, I will also say this book did a really good job with like a consent.
Hands down. Yes. Yeah.
Still in that like they had to get married really quickly because she was running from the law, and he was sort of like, I'm going to have you and you don't have a choice. And her uncle was like, get her out of here.
Yeah. You know, true love, how love
just
happens.
True love. And so she was like, fine, I'll marry you. Let's bribe a priest and go.
Yeah.
But she's like very nervous for their wedding night. And he's like, no, I'm not going to have our wedding night until you're ready. And so I really felt like they did a really good job with consent and like in part teasing us, but also like making sure Pilar was ready. To the point where he like stops himself being like, no, she's not ready. Like, I can't wait.
Because it is such a, like, for lack of a better word, a bizarre situation where you have the wedding before the love. And like, so you are like put in a tricky situation where like in any other instance in real life, if this happened, like, yes, they would be having sex on the first night and it would be terrible. But like with this, you know, having like showing consent, which is such a, I don't know, maybe a more modern, you know, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not that consent has never not been existent in all of history, but like it is becoming a norm, you know?
Well, and that's the struggle between like with a romance, historical romance, where it's like you have to play to like modern sensibilities, but also try to be true to the time.
Yeah.
And be aware of it. And I thought she did a very good job with that.
Hands down. Yeah.
I thought she created some pretty feminist characters, a lot of consent, while also playing in this world where like women don't have a lot of rights and it's kind of an issue. She's like 25 and she's like, I'll never get married. And I'm like, ugh, okay.
I know. She's an old maid at 25.
I did enjoy, there's this one scene, it's finally where, if I can just read this short segment, because I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
It's not like a particularly sexy moment, but I really enjoyed it because like, as we were saying, a lot of foreplay. This is... she finally has agreed to her wedding night. They're like having sex for the first time. We're talking about nipples. We're like playing. We're undressing. There's a lot of layers. And then finally he's like, you know, getting ready to insert the penis.
It's happening.
It's happening. He's inserted and she says she does have like a moment where he goes like, I'll go slow, I promise. And then he sensed her nod. And I was like, consent. Mm-hmm. And then it just ends with like a few moments later, they were moving as one. His tight hold on his discipline broke and he increased his pace, hoping he wasn't being too rough, but unable to stop if a gun was put to his head. Which, like, I felt like was such a moment of, like, a teenager just being like, oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, did you come? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that good for you?
Yeah, it was a little, like, that moment was, like,
she orgasms in it.
Yes.
Like, sentence later, but it's just, like, that one line where it's just, like... All right.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you when it's just like there's the like literal overdrive of a 17-year-old boy just like losing his virginity.
I was like, he's holding out. I don't know what the masturbation status of.
It's a good question.
Like, I never know. Like, I'm like, did Puritans have blowjobs? I don't think so.
No.
Did they masturbate, or at least men?
Well, here's the thing. Like, is there something to, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking, like, Puritan man, like, you know, like, they can't have sex till they're married, blah, blah, blah. But, like, is there something like, oh, like, their dick goes hard when they're 12 and then they touch it and they're like, oh, my God, this feels, like, do you know what I mean? Like, is it just, like, that's, like, they did masturbate, but maybe they didn't know how, or that was, like, really their, like, huge sin and, like, you know.
And they're just, like, trying to suppress it all the time. I'm like, I feel like there's just a moment where in your pubescent years you're just masturbating all the time and you don't really understand and like, you know, and it's awkward and uncomfortable and you're just like, I gotta do this. And so I find it like, I'm like, how did they handle it in olden times when it's like you're all like, oh, excuse me, can I touch your wrist? Oh yes, you can touch my wrist. Shall we go to a dance? Yes, 18 people will follow us. Whether you just like get home and you're just like, oh God, like, I gotta jerk it.
You're just like bouncing up and down, like, oh my God. I mean, there were like dildos and like, you know, I mean, like there were like methods of the female masturbation.
The first photos that were taken were porn. Porn existed for a long time. So people were having sex all the time, and
totally, people were writing shit out. Like there was like
and like whorehouses.
Yeah, like it's been around.
There's those like erotic like Greek vases that exist.
Yeah,
it took me a while to figure out what Greek vases were.
Yeah, you know, erotic.
I was trying to think of the word pottery, but I couldn't.
Oh, that's okay. You know, because you know what was funny was that, like, I keep having to remind myself that words like orgasm and fuck and pussy and cock, like, they have been around for longer than I think. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, because she uses the term orgasm in this, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, when did you know what I mean? Like, when did orgasm first come around? And so, of course, I looked it up because I do that once a week, looking up dirty words online.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, orgasm has been used since like the 16th century. And there's like the Latin word orgasmus or something. And I was like, oh, this is fascinating.
Well, I remember when I took Latin in...
I took Latin too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I took it in 7th grade. I remember 3 things. I remember... I don't even remember that. It was Claudius Est, which was just is, and then fuke, which is to do.
Oh, yeah.
Which is definitely the Latin root of fuck.
Fuck, yeah. See, there you go.
And I was like, oh, that's where fuck came from. And we all giggled and we moved on.
Oh, my God. And you moved on because I would have been still giggling.
Can we go back?
I'd like to say a sentence in Latin, please. Fuke, you.
I mean, like, that's not accurate. Yeah, I took 1 semester of Latin in 7th grade. We took 1 semester of Latin, and then we took 1 of the other languages that they offered.
Yeah.
So I took 1 semester of Latin and 1 semester of Japanese. Don't remember much from either.
Right. Yeah.
I remember making sushi. That was a fun day.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get that in my Latin class. We didn't make moldy fish and put sauce on it or something.
Pretty sure we just did like cucumber rolls.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, you know what? I was like looking up a while back, like looking up what the term, like where pussy came from.
Oh.
And there's like a lot of different, like a lot of different, like you're just like reading about this, like, oh, it could have come from this, could have come from that. But there is this Latin word called pudenda, which is used, like is used as a term for vagina or, vulva or whatever. But pudenda means thing to be ashamed of.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I do love that the French term for orgasm translates to little death.
Yeah, le petit mot.
Yeah.
I think
that
too.
I think that's pretty beautiful.
That I think is beautiful too.
Yeah, I'm like, I can believe that.
Yeah.
French know. They know.
Oh, they know. And I think like the French word is like orgasme. Like orgasme.
I do going back to my intensive erotica, online erotica reading. I love the different terms people use for dicks, pussies, like all this stuff. And there was like one series that I was reading where he kept using the word ramrod.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't think I can read this anymore. Stop using ramrod. No, what actually ended that is that I accidentally clicked on the author page and it was like then this like photo of just this like gross shriveling guy came up and I was like, nope, no longer sexy. Ugh, gross. No, thank you.
What's your favorite, like what's your favorite term for penis and vagina?
I feel like I am a cock and pussy person.
Yeah.
I like animals, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like though I'm not really like a dirty talker.
Yeah.
I find myself giggling too much. There's like it's I find myself like too willing to go into bits. So like as soon as I try to like talk dirty, then I'm like, oh, if I said this, it would be really funny right now. And you're like, you're trying to have an orgasm.
Yeah, it's the curse of the improviser.
Exactly.
You just like want to yes and things.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, yeah. Oh, what? How uncomfortable can I make this? For a while, I was just referring to sex as doinking, that was a particular drive spell for me. It was people were not responding well.
No one liked DTD down to doink.
You want to doink later? Let's doink.
I can't believe no one would like that.
I think you know what? I'm like, bring it back.
Bring it back.
I'm pro doinking, guys.
Yeah.
Bring doink into your sexy talk.
Yeah,
I think it can work.
Authors, like you should have like doinking.
Doink fest.
A good old doink fest in your books. We would like it.
Laura and Noah totally doinked. After they rock hard nippled, they doinked.
They nipped and doinked.
Yeah, so I feel like, yeah.
Speaking of dirty talk, I think that was something that I kind of liked in this book is that they did kind of have their dirty talk. Like, the line where she was like, oh, do you want to say the rudder thing?
Oh, the rudder thing. Yeah, I had that one highlighted.
Yeah, it was so good.
Well, let's see. Let me pull it up because I didn't. But like soon because he was so skillful and masterful, Pilar was without a rudder or anything else to guide her course. His kisses became her stars, his warming, exploring hands her sails. Her sighs were soft as moonlight, and her heightened senses roiled like storm-tossed seas. While the current of desire threatened to sweep her away, he anchored her, steered her, and splendidly showed her just how powerful a son of the Haitian god Yemaya, the mothers of all water, could be. That was great.
That I thought like. While like my favorite like sex scene was the nipple stuff by the river, like by the water, like this I thought like was like kind of the epitome of this book in terms of like they were using like nautical terminology.
That's the thing. I was
and
like,
that's what you want. Like that's the premise, you know?
I like this segment too because I was like, yeah, exactly. Give me some ship terminology.
Yeah.
I want it. I'm here for the pirates. I want some water.
Yeah.
Also, this was a great night because this was after they get married. She's like, we're not going to have our wedding night. And he's like, you're not ready. And then he's like, do you want like a hint of it? And this scene is like when he sort of just like takes off her shirt and plays with her nipples.
Yeah.
And I thought it was one of the sexiest moments. And then he like leaves her and he's like, leaves her like wanting more. And she's like, holy shit, this is what being married could be like. My mind is blown.
Yeah.
So I thought this was like like real on board with this. I was, because, this is almost halfway through the book too. And this is like some of the first sexy moments. So I was like, ooh, we're ramping up. Other half's going to be all boat sex. Less boat sex than I thought.
Yeah.
But when we got it, it was good.
It was so good. And there was another part where like there was like some of the sex, like there was this, oh God, really good sexy talk. Let me see if I highlighted it.
At one point they're like playing a game and she's like, you cheated. And he's like, I'll cheat.
Yeah.
On your game.
Yeah, it's like something like that. Okay, so here's what it is.
You can actually find the lines.
Well, no, but I think okay. So Pilar lives in California. She misses her mom and her sister, and so she's like talking to Noah, and they're like trying to arrange a way for like her mom and her sister to come visit. And Pilar says something like, "It'll be nice to converse with someone who shares my tongue." He walked over and sat on the arm of her chair and said to her in Spanish, "I'd like to share your tongue." She replied in the same language, "Does your mother know how incredibly shameless you are?" "No, so don't tell her." He traced her lips. "Been wanting to kiss you all day." Fitting actions to words, he leaned down and skimmed his lips over hers, wondering if his desire for his soldier wife would ever diminish. "Over the next few days, I'm going to make love to you in every possible way and in every inch of this room." He coaxed her up, and she rose to her knees on the chair cushion so they could devour each other more comfortably. In our bed, on the rugs before the fire, outside on the veranda under the moon. Her trembling response stretched his manhood lustily. Oops. Okay. "Then I'm going to take you on top of my piano and paint your nipples with honey." She drew in a shuddering breath, and then his desire roared. There was a knock on the door. "Mr. Noah, your food."
Oh, Bonnie the Irish cook.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, I was like, holy shit, I want to be on a piano and have my nipples painted in honey.
Yeah, hands down. Like, that's so hot.
That was a real, like, paint me like one of your French girls moment. Like,
oh, for sure. Better, if you ask
oh,
me.
yeah.
Hands down better.
Paint your nipples with honey.
Yeah, paint those nipples
But then
with
we
honey.
never got a nipple painting scene.
Never got a nipple painting scene. Okay, so should we talk about Lavinia? Because I know
Yes.
that was on our
I gotta talk about Lavinia.
We gotta talk about Lavinia.
Because if someone gets shafted the most or the least, it's Lavinia.
Bam. Yes.
Boom.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Lavinia was this lady who was a mistress of Noah. She still hung up on him. Her ailing dad owns a shipyard.
And that's where he bought his ship that was stolen, the Alonza, which he named after his mom.
Mm-hmm. And so when Noah returns with Pilar, Lavinia is super jealous and super bitchy to Pilar, which, that's a trope. We see that all the time. Mm-hmm. But then there was a point where Lavinia's father, who was on his deathbed, offered to give Noah his shipyard, you know, and Lavinia gets jealous because she's like, I could run this.
Mm-hmm. She wants to run it. She's been running it. She's been there since she was 9. Mm-hmm. And her father's like, I can't give it to you because it would go out of business because it's the 1880s. You're a woman. And even Noah's like, I'm sure she would do a great job, but it's sexist times.
Yeah. And then Lavinia, what does she do? She
So Lavinia is like, well, there's this Brazilian investor who wants to invest in the business and would basically be the front man and let me run it secretly. Mm-hmm. And she's like, just meet with him. And this guy turns out to be this character Gonzalez, who was supposed to marry Pilar's mom. Mm-hmm. She ran off with a rebel, and he's never gotten over it and hates their family. Mm-hmm. And Noah knows him because he's the one who Gonzalez gives him the Pilar's identity when he's searching for her, trying to find the pirate that stole his ship. Mm-hmm. And he walks out angrily, being like, I would never do business with you. Mm-hmm. And then they
beat up Noah, right?
Yeah. Later Noah gets shot 3 times in the back.
Yes.
And they find the guy who did it, and then Pilar immediately grabs a gun and points it at him because it's one of Gonzalez's men who she met way early on, and gets him to confess to attempting to murder Noah by shooting him in his broken leg, which I was like,
good.
whoo.
That was again, such a great scene.
That was a great scene. That was really when we got to see the rebel in her. We got a little bit of Lady Pirate back in her. Like it was like fiery and awesome. And she was like stood up for him, got him to confess that Gonzalez and Lavinia had plotted to murder Noah to get back the shipyard, and then sent them to jail like while her father died. Like her father died as she was getting like carted away.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's such a bummer.
It's such a bummer, and it's like I kind of feel for her. Like I imagine, like I could see for some reason like a movie coming out now that's like Lavinia's story, and we would be on her side a little bit.
Well, like here's the thing: she's been sleeping with Noah, and he's like, we never discussed marriage.
Yeah,
but like we've all been there.
Yeah, like he's kind of using her.
Yeah, I'm like she kind of using her. The father seems like totally okay with like them having a romance before getting married. Like he's like, oh, you like if you get the milk for free, like why buy the cow? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you're real. Like you mean like my slutty daughter, like real nonchalant about it. But like, look, he's like, I do have this woman who I sometimes sleep with in San Francisco. Doesn't like give her a heads up. They run into each other at a train station, and she's like, oh no, you're here. Let's bang. Which has been probably the course of every time he's been in San Francisco.
Of course, yeah.
And then he's like, no, I'm married. Here's my wife. And so she reacts poorly. I feel like it's then a stretch to have her go to like murder.
Yeah.
But it's like this weird thing where I'm like, she just wants to run her father's business. This is her livelihood. She knows this really well. She just maybe lost someone who she's been dating and probably liked and like maybe thought they would one day marry. So now she's like out, and she's like kind of mean about it, but she's kind of like mean to Pilar. But I'm like, I would kind of be cold to someone like that. And she still like comes up and visits with her father, is really nice to her dad, even though he's also mean to her.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I got this guy to invest so I can run the business. I figured it out. Let's meet. And then all of a sudden is like in a murder plot. Like, I just sort of felt like
it was a little bonkers.
I didn't need her to like go away for prison to life. Like, I'm like, she could be like miffed. But I really, I saw her case. You know.
There was a part of me that like, because this is a series and I had no idea that Destiny's Captive was the last book until I like re-looked it up. So there was like a part of me that's like, oh, well maybe like, because like I was like felt for Lavinia, you know, that, especially during that scene where they were like, you can't run the shipyard, and I was like, oh well, maybe there's gonna be the next book will be about Lavinia, and like she'll finally get like her she'll
get to run that shipyard.
She'll run the shipyard. She'll find love, like because Noah didn't work out. But I was like, no, she fucking plotted to kill him, and is now in lady jail or whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm okay with Gonzalez coming and trying to kill her, but I thought, why I didn't need Lavinia to like end up in jail as well. Yeah. Like, and especially because there's times when Noah's like, well, she deserved it because she was rude to my wife. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's like an eye for an eye.
No.
Like, it's like, yeah, she was a little catty.
She was a little, I mean, and then there was like, you know, maybe a little racist, you know. Yeah. I think there was like a racist saying, but not to the point, well, who am I saying? I'm like a white person, but like.
She's a little racist, a little catty, but she's good to her father. Yeah. She knows her business. Yeah. And is like about to get pushed out by this guy who she was seeing. I don't think that deserves prison for life. No. I mean, I also don't think that would then lead to be like, right, I got a plot to kill him. Yeah. Cool, I'm on board. So I felt like that was just like really shoehorned in a little bit where it's like, oh, the other two characters that we've mentioned in this book are evil.
Yeah, and it just sucks to me sometimes when women are pitted against each other in these books to like show that our protagonist is the one, you know, like is the best woman. And it's like, why do you have to like compare her to another? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I really hated the moment where she was like, I could be your mistress. And he was like, no, I'm honorable to my wife. And I'm like, well, you guys, like, one, that's like not cool, but like on her, don't do that to other women. But also I'm like, I get it. You just found out this guy you've been seeing like at any time he came to port, you're like, you saw him. So like for years potentially, just got married all of a sudden. This guy who was like, I'll never marry was like, oops, I'm married.
Yeah, it is like, yeah, I totally, like, we all, like, a lot of women have been in that more, not like, you know what I mean? But like,
No, I feel like there's always the moment where it's like, you're like hooking up with someone and like, you've been doing it for like 6 months and then you're like, what are we? And they're like, I can't have a commitment. So you're like, let's stop having sex. And then like, a week later, they're engaged to someone.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're like, cool, was it just me? Like,
yeah.
That makes me feel like garbage.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like everyone's been in that position. So I'm like, Lavinia, just, you felt, you're mourning, basically. You're,
yeah.
you know, I don't know if that warrants plotting to murder, but like we didn't get to see any of that stuff. So
Yeah,
it's like,
we should have like seen her. Like if she was going to plot to murder, we should see her get to that point. You know what I mean? Of whatever, like there's another slight, or I don't know, or she's a crazy person. You know, like
yeah. I feel like there's like like in the book, it was like she was kind of mean and maybe a little racist, and that's like the moments that you're supposed to like her. But again, it's like.
Her comeuppance was way you did not need.
I didn't need that much comeuppance.
No,
like
no.
If she was just like there at their wedding, being like pouting, I'd be like, cool. And I also
she like would fall in a mud.
Yeah,
like, she was
exactly.
Like, she should just fall in mud.
That's like the Disney
Gaston.
Like the way the evil stepsisters and they like running after her and then they fall in mud and they're like, oh, now we're muddy.
Yeah,
that's what she deserved. She deserved mud.
She deserved mud.
And I felt like I was really bummed out with her, especially because it was just like, it was this guy who was murdering them, who had been hired to murder. And so it was like also just like, he was like, those two. So he didn't even get to see her like plotting it. And I'm like, at least give me a scene where she's like plotting it. Like,
where we kind of just like see her. We see who she really is in a way, as a woman who could like do something like this.
So I also, when I was reading this, I didn't realize it was a trilogy. You gifted it to me. You gave me a list of the options. I picked Pirates, and then I just read it through. You gave me a month, like a week before. I was like, oh shit!
It's okay. I finished it yesterday. Don't worry.
Finished it today. So. Reading it, and then they're like, oh, yeah, the town's been burnt down because of this crazy other plot. I was like, oh, this is probably a series of books. And so I went back, and I was like, oh, all the brothers have, like, their romances. Because, like, there's also moments where they're like, oh, like, Drew married, like, a prostitute. A sex worker now. And I was like, oh, I bet there's a story there. And then I was like, oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah, I've learned to, like, recognize those things. I think what I like about, like, because I never, like, most people are like, well, I got to read the series in order, like, 1, 2, 3. But you really can read them out of order. And then when you run into a paragraph like that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's, like, the other story. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I won't. Like, but I know that they're together.
But if anything, I was like, holy shit, they burnt down a town in book 2, and in book 3, like, I don't know, there's like a shipyard that needs to be purchased. He stares at a tiger. There's not like, I'm like, give me a burnt down town.
I know, like that is insane. Or even like I even want to is the burnt down town like also the one with Drew marrying the prostitute? Or
I think that's the middle book, which is Billy and Drew.
Okay.
And Logan. If anything, it goes like, it's Logan and Maria, I think. And she's like, I used to be his maid. And I read that, and it was just like, they're having witty spats, and then her like ex-lover comes, and I was like, well, that sounds boring. And then the middle one is like, she comes back as like a sex worker who has his child and like camps out on their property, and then like a town gets burnt down while this like attempted kidnapping happens. And I was like,
drama. That
I was
sounds
like,
good.
book 2 sounds so exciting. And then this one's a little bit back to like, shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, I think it's time for us to give us our final thoughts.
Oh, final thoughts. All right.
Maybe a rating, A through F.
Oh, A through F.
Feel free to give a sultry adjective before your letter grade.
Oh, okay.
Should you want to? Not
right.
Not a requirement. Okay, but your final thoughts.
I will say my final thoughts are, I went back and read about the author, and after reading how established she is in the genre, I wanted more. I wanted a better book. But I was surprised by how well rated it was on everything. So I think I was like, oh, okay. I think she probably has better books in her series. Go check those out. However, there was like a lot of good. So I will give this like a bosom B+.
Ooh, a bosom. I love that. Bosom B+. Yeah, I have read other Beverly Jenkins books. I think there's books that are just way better than this. That said, I will read this book over a lot of other books that are out there for sure. But I did think it was like, there is like a clever idea in there where like they get married before they say I love you, and I think that's such an interesting kind of way to tell a romance. So I like give it that. I love reading her books because I learned so much about history, and it's like, and I would like, I feel like I'd rather learn about history through these books than like any other method.
Yeah, it's very accurate about Cuba.
Yeah, and it just like makes me like, I'll just like highlight something and then I'll look it up and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting, and I'll remember that more than like the paragraph that was glossed over in like history.
I did discover, I'm very new to the Kindle. I did discover that you can just click on things and go to Wikipedia, and I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's amazing.
you can click on words and get the definitions of them.
Oh, cool.
Which I looked up, and then you can look on Wikipedia and stuff. I literally cannot do it now. I did it earlier. I don't know how I did it, but I defined something.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, yeah, no, I just got distracted by like dictionary.com. Okay. Anyway, okay. So what was I talking about?
History.
Oh, yeah. History. I thought it was so great. I thought the sex was great. That said, like, I really did enjoy this book. And so I gave it a, okay, ready?
Yeah.
A climactic wave of an A-.
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you
our
so much.
A- B+ is right in there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Just a few points away.
Just a few points away. So, straddling the
rusty ramrod of the grade point average. The grossest one.
I'm just straddling the rusty ramrod of the GPA, Mom. I did well in math.
If the curve of her bosom worked in my favor. What is this, slut university?
Yeah, that's where I went to school. That's where we did our weird performance art.
That's right.
Slut University.
We both went to Slut University.
Yeah. Slut you, baby. Go Team Sluts. Well, Diana, thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Guys, you can follow Diana on Twitter at That's Right, and you can follow this podcast on Twitter and Instagram at TSTL Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.